Hi and welcome to Emerald Hill Skies. My name's Doug and tonight we're doing something a little bit differently. We're conducting a live dress rehearsal for an upcoming observing session that we hope to do this coming Saturday night, March 2nd. And that session, we hope, will be an entire Messier Marathon here online. And this session is sort of a practice or a dry run. We'd especially like to compare two different targeting software. One is called AstroPlanner and the other is SkyTools 4 Pro Visual. And we just like to get a sense for each one. So welcome, and we're glad you're here. We hope you enjoy our effort to try to get a sense of what these planning software packages might be like. So why don't we just go ahead and get started, and we're going to make this as real as possible. To get going, we're just going to start on our first object here. This is Messier 52, and it's also known as NGC 7654, the Scorpion. Some people call it the Cassiopeia salt and pepper cluster. So when we work Saturday night, each particular piece of deep sky object that we observe will hope only to be there for around 3 minutes. So I'm just going to delay long enough to go check and make sure our audio is good. Let's see, not hearing any audio there yet. Hello, testing 1, 2. Is that audio good? Oh, that's the wrong. This rehearsal is what we want to look at. See if that audio is good. Well, that's not what we want to do. How about this? Check that audio. Ricky, you're there. Why am I not hearing that audio? There we go. Ricky, thanks for letting us know. And Dave, good to have you guys there. All right, so we're just going to test a few of these things out. Let's try going to our next object. It's M103. M103. And let's slew there. And let's check out the scope. M103. And it's moving. What we'd like to do is average about 2 minutes to locate the object, and then 3 minutes to be able to observe it, max. So when we get to an object, we'll just quickly do a quick plate solve. And you can already see the open cluster there, just a little bit off of center of the screen. It'll pull it back to the middle. And there's our object, M103, Messier 103. This is an open cluster. It's a circumpolar open cluster. You see over here, I think we're going to add, make sure we have the constellation. Let's see. Wonder if the constellation is here off the edge. That's exactly what it is. How can we pull that in? Oh, here we go. Pull that in so we can see it. So there's the constellation. Okay, we're all set. So we'd be done with M103. Now let's go to the little dumbbell. Again, we'll go back to the scope. Little dumbbell is a planetary nebula, and it's in the constellation Perseus. It's only at about 17 degrees right now, so very low on the horizon. Lots of atmosphere that we would have to look through. I can just barely see it here in the screen. So we would do a quick plate solve just to make sure it's centered in the screen, make sure we're exactly where we want to point to. SharpCap's plate solve is so fast. There it goes, pulling the dumbbell in the middle. Now on this one, we'll plate solve, we'll live stack just a little bit. And I think we'll use a sequencer here and we'll say, run this prep for imaging plate solve, and that's M76. And it started started live stacking already. You know, Dave's asking here, how does one get involved with a marathon? Really, you can just pick up a book. For instance, that's one way. Like this one is called The Observing Guide to the Messier Marathon, a Handbook and Atlas by Don Macholtz. And then you want to send your plans in to the SEDS site. And here's a little bit about Messier Marathon here on the SEDS site. They also have, after they explain a little bit about it, down here they talk about, let me go back out and do it this way, SEDS site marathon dates. So these are typical Messier Marathon dates. You can see the ideal day would be March 10th. So we're about one weekend early by going to March 2nd. March 9th and 10th might be an ideal date. And then you can send in your plans. Let's see if he tells you here. There's the Messier Marathon home. That's where we just were. Index, not that. SEDS, somewhere here. Let's look a little closer. He tells you the upcoming and historic, okay, so 2024. So this is where you can make announcements of when your marathon is going to be, and then after you're done, you submit the results to the SEDS site, and they share the results here. There's not really any kind of official registration page. You don't have to tell anybody in advance. It's really rather laid back, and the point of the matter is just to get people out there and get them using, get them observing, and get them involved with astronomy. And so it's really rather laid back. Or there's an easy way you can get involved. Just jump in with us this coming Saturday night and do it with us as a team event. And if you like it, then you could do it on your own. How about that? So we'll be going 7 p.m. Eastern Time through 7:30 or so a.m. So about 12 and a half hours we'll be going. So here's a little dumbbell. Hope that helps, Dave. He's got the web page marked. Good. Yeah, just come in and sit in with us for at least part or all of Saturday night. And then the next Saturday night, you could do it on your own. How about that? Okay, so we're gonna stop the live stacking now and go to the next object. Now I can see right now one thing I want to do before Saturday night is say, oh, maybe next target cycle is what we're doing here. Next target is M34, Messier 34. And here we'll go here, Messier 34, slew to the object. And you can see there's the scope moving. This target is at 19 degrees above the horizon. And this is the pace. It's very quick. Don't think of these as portraits of the sky, but rather think of them as postcards. Like we stopped and saw wall drugs, you know, just a postcard. There's the plate solve. I think I'm going to speed this particular sequence up because it's going to wait now for 25 seconds, and you can see we're already ready. So I think it could be sped up maybe as much as, maybe I can take 10 seconds off of that. So we'll actually do that here in just a second. Dave, that'll be great if you can be here. Okay, now let's add one more thing into the mix. Okay, this is setting up our live stacking. I'm not sure, we don't want to lead into live stacking on every one of these because many of these are just open clusters and we don't need to live stack open clusters. So we'll have to do another sequence program. Okay, I'm just going to stop the live stacking, take this back to 3 seconds, and this back to 400. And there's what's called the spiral cluster. It's an open cluster in Perseus, Messier 34. Now, let's try doing our new observing routine. This script was written today by a good friend on the Isle of Wight. Pete, thank you. We're going to try this out. Okay, I'm going to go Control 9. And look at how quick that was. We could easily make out the spiral cluster M34 without live stacking with just 3-second exposures at a gain of 400. I'm going to estimate there's 60 or so members. It's just an estimated. Now when I hit OK.
Observation added.
Oh, that's so much easier. Pete, bless you. May your entire family be blessed. May your wife and daughter be blessed. May your home be blessed. Thank you. That takes all of that latency out of what we were doing before. This is such a great innovation for AstroPlanner. All right, let's head to the Pleiades. We're not live stacking. So we're just going to click on Pleiades and go slew to the object. So this is M45. It's located in the constellation Taurus. And this is visible in binoculars. Now you don't get to see the, you don't get to see much of the, so we'll stack this one for just a second. Let's go ahead and do the sequence. Prep for imaging only. M45. Yeah, so that does not plate solve, and this is what we want. This particular sequence, it goes right into live stacking without plate solving. This is what we'll want to use if we can see the object on the screen. Okay, so you can make out here the 7 main stars, the Pleiades, M45, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think this is the 7th. Kind of looks like a little ladle, a little dipper, doesn't it? We'll get our live stack tuned a little bit, and we're going to stay on an object no longer than 3 minutes, but already after just 40 seconds, now you're starting to see some of the nebulosity around this star. And I think this star is the one called Merope. But let's see, how can we check that? Guess we're going to have to use Stellarium. So let's get Stellarium up and running. Yes, Papa Tech, we're going to do the Messier Marathon Saturday night, 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., so about 12.5 hours. We're just going to do it solo and have as many people on the stream, as many people on the stream as we can here as co-astronomers, but we're just going to do it solo here. Now Stellarium is taking a lot of time to open. And the question is, why is it taking so much time to open? I guess because there's a lot going on. We have videos going, the video of the scope, the live streams uploading. We have the video of the sky, the video of the object, and we're live stacking the object. So I guess we got a lot going on, but Stellarium didn't even load. That's sad, isn't it? Oh, there it is. Okay, it took a long time. Now, let's see. I think we have, let's just quickly go there manually. I think we have a thing that'll tune Stellarium to whatever. I think Pete wrote that for us too, M45. But right now, we'll just go there manually. Okay, so Electra. So we were seeing Electra right away. Notice how this is the reverse. Oh, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Time's up. Gotta run. That's the Messier Marathon for you. So we can't get hung up too deeply in any one object. Now let's stop live stacking. Go back to 3 seconds at a gain of 400. But let's pause here for just a second and look at our sequencing up here. And what we want to do is open. We want to open the one called Next Target Cycle. No. Ah, look, we have one called Next Target Without Plate Solving. Let's open up that one and see what it does. Okay, so it sets a display zoom level, stops live stacking, sets exposure to 3, gain to 400, set gain to 400. Prompt to enter the target name, sets the gain to 100, then 20 seconds, and starts live stacking. See, this is not going to work either. Next target without plate solving. Let's do a save as and call this next. Let's call this set exposure to 3 seconds. And I think I'll know what that means. So we're going to set the display zoom level back to 0. We're going to stop live stacking if we were. Set the gain. Don't prompt for the target name. Don't start live stacking anything. Don't reset the display stretch. Don't do the white balance. Hide progress on successful completion. So really, this is just a quick way to, in one click, to stop live stacking and go back to 3 seconds at 400. And I think I remember what that means. So let's save this and close that. Well, let's also look at the one called Default Next Target Cycle. Let's look at Next Target Cycle, because we'll want to shorten this. Now that Robin has written plate solving, now he calls it sharp solving, I think. We want to change this time to 15 seconds instead of 25. Oh, solve a single frame. I see. So that's 22 seconds, let's say. Reset live stacking. So this one's going to be as fast as we can go. So this is without next target cycle. So that doesn't plate solve. All right, I think that's all we need to change. So let's close those. All right. That Opal guy, what we're doing is rehearsing for the Messier Marathon for this Saturday, that Opal guy. So it's kind of a dress rehearsal of going fast. All right, next let's go to NGC 1904, that's Messier 79. So, oh, it's, I wonder if we need to refresh this. How do we refresh this again? I guess altitude? No. Sequence. It's not going to let us go to M79 because it's saying it's below our horizon. All right, let's next go here to M42. And right, hoping for clear weather Saturday night. Well, that's good, Dave. You've got clear weather until at least Sunday. Good. Okay, now this is off the screen a little bit, so we'll have to decide, are we going to try to fix this? So this would be a chance when we would use the sequencer to say, next target cycle, right? Oh, let's just click the plate solve button because this happens so fast. Okay, so SharpCap is now comparing the sky with its internal memory of the object. And really, the thing is, for Saturday night, once we got to this point, we're seeing the object. So we would probably, even though this is an insult to M42, we would just observe it. Quick take on a beautiful view. And we'd be done.
Observation added.
M43, salute object. This is at 20 degrees. So now we're up above the, that was fast. Oh yeah, M43 is the head. So we should associate those together. Associate selected objects, yeah. There's no reason to go separately to M43. If we're at M42, we'll be seeing M43 as well. We'll view this in one field of view with M42. So that'll save time. Select that one.
Observation added.
Now let's go to M78. This is a diffusion nebula. And Orion also. NGC 2068. Dave's talking about, well, if there did, or that Opal guy's talking about if there did happen to be cloudy skies, we could just elevate the scope 70,000 feet. Now I'm curious what the live stacking is like if we leave it at 3 seconds, 400 gain. I'm curious. Let's just see what it looks like. I don't know if I've ever tried this. Live stacked 3-second exposures at 400 gain. A little noisier up front, but I bet that noise would settle out. It's just been 30 seconds. So we would say we're done on this one. It's actually kind of insulting to some of these beautiful nebulae to view them only 3 minutes. They're gorgeous.
Observation added.
Okay, so then let's see what the next, see, we don't know yet. The next one is an open cluster. So we want to say next target without plate solving, I guess. And really, why do we have to put in that? Because we're not going to take pictures of all these, are we? So I need to simplify that as well. 78. Now I kind of would like a process of being able to check off the fact that we finished something. So what if I put the column in here for observe, because I think that shows a different symbol once you've observed it in the same session. What's that called? Is it observations? I think that might be it, the number of observations. So let's add that up toward the, let's put that right after the name of the object. Right, maybe even right after the, maybe right after the name, right there. Yeah, see how they turn dark gray when the object's been observed in this particular observing session, and that'll act as our check mark to show that we've definitely finished that object for the marathon. That's interesting that our constellation, that's odd, isn't it, that the constellation column grew wide again. That's weird. I see, it's because we get, oh there, that fixed it. Okay, this is supposed to be, whoops. Let's do, did we not clear it maybe? Okay, so we can't afford this kind of mistake Saturday night. Okay, so I like that little observations column there. Yeah, we didn't slew the scope for some reason. So we need to stop live stacking. This is when we use our new sequence. It's called set exposure to 3 seconds. Oh yeah, that worked great. I like that. Little beehive. M41. Okay, so I think you're getting the rhythm here. And then we'll have to clean up these little mistakes. So there it is, right on the screen. So we would just quick 30 seconds, and done.
Observation added.
Butterfly cluster. Right there it is, bam. No, oh, we could even see the butterfly, huh? We could instantly make out the butterfly shape. You know what I think a person ought to have to do?
Observation added.
Let me see if indeed we have that script from my buddy Pete that sets Stellarium, syncs Stellarium's targeted position to the selected position in Astro. Yeah, and that's set for Control 3. Why Control 3? It's okay. So let's check that for errors. No errors. So let's go Control 3 and then skip over to Stellarium. Control 3.
M93 selected.
There. So this would show us where we were in the sky. So south, southwest. I think we should do this while each object is in slew. So maybe we right. You'll still be able to see the telescope slewing over here on the right. And we'll just go to Stellarium quickly. We might as well go and make this big. So this way we can see where we are in the sky. South, southwest. This is Canis Major. And then as soon as we locate where it is, we'll just toggle back and see the cluster and then do the observation and then be gone. Look how the gray box showed us, darker gray showed us we've already done the observation here. We're off to M47. While that's slewing, we go Control 3.
M47 selected.
We go back to Stellarium. M47 is in the same part of the sky, so it's just above Canis Major, looking south-southwest. So we saw that. We come back here, and there's M47. The script for observations is incredible. I was getting so much latency
Observation added.
when I would have to change tabs and I would have to rewrite the screen, and it was taking forever. I'd get the sentence done and I was waiting for the letters to pour in because the letters were lagging so much. And now with this new script that Pete wrote, there is no lag. Okay. Now I think we can do AstroPlanner. Now let's just check one other thing. So we're down to M47. So let's save that just so we've got it saved. Let's take AstroPlanner and disconnect it from the scope. And let's try one other targeting package just to make sure. Let's pull up SkyTools and just see what it's like. And we'll close AstroPlanner. Okay. Now we're in SkyTools nightly planner mode. And I think I'll get rid of these check marks. And for a moment, let's just put it in order of best. The problem with SkyTools is the developer of SkyTools didn't give us a real-time view of the altitude. This view we have of the altitude, this altitude column right here is actually just, let me pull this out so you can see what I mean. This altitude column right here is the altitude the object will be if you go there at the best time. What we do have is the set column, and that should theoretically be reliable. So let's say, for instance, right now it's 11:57 p.m. So this object set, it already set at 11:44. But look, some of these other objects are above it and they haven't set yet. There's a 10:12 set, a 9:55 set, a 10. It's almost like we should put them in the order of setting. I guess. Although that doesn't really work because it depends on when it rose. Okay, so what this developer wants you to do is use the best column, and it's 11:58. But what I would love to do is come back in and clean up some of these that are still up in the sky, but we have no idea if they're still up there or not. Because he doesn't give us a real-time altitude anywhere. Honestly, I don't see how that is going to work. Because like in a situation like this, we don't know what altitude these objects are. Well, let's just try a few of them using the best column. Okay, so it's 11:58. So we'll skip all the way down here to, I guess, 1:19 a.m. And we'll connect the scope. Oh my goodness, you can't connect the scope in planner mode. You have to go to real time. Connect the scope.
Telescope connected.
Then oh, so it is showing us all 112 objects. And we are in real-time mode. So that's good. Okay, so looking at best, oh, we can't sort. So how does this work? We've got the time set on, oh look, we have the time set on February 29th, 12 a.m., which is now, to 5 a.m. Where do we change this 5 a.m.? Oh, I know, there's a slider bar up here. There's not one here. So how do you set the end? Can I just, no, you can't type there. Let's take this out of best now. Oh, you can't. The nightly planner is set on 7 p.m. to 7:31. So why is the real time stopping at 5:01 a.m.? It's like it doesn't think that we can see anything past 5:01 a.m. So it's not even showing it to us. Okay, so let's just try it. So let's go to M108. We would say slew scope to this.
The telescope is slewing.
All right, Papa Tech. We'd love to see you Saturday night. I hope you can check in. Okay, so we would go look and see where M108 is. Now, there's no connection with Stellarium here, but he does have his own...
Viewing M108.
And this is a galaxy. So we're going to have to live stack this. He has his own...
Viewing M108.
What you would do in this case, you would start this live stack. Prep for imaging only. And then, meanwhile, you would go over here and you would say, view overhead sky. And you could see where the object is. So it's got a blinking crosshair right here. So this is in the Big Dipper, in Ursa Major. North is toward the top. So it's like we're facing south, and this is a little bit behind us. So right there in the bowl of the Big Dipper. Then we close this and tune up our live stacking. And there we go. We're actually getting two objects in this screen. So what we could do here is we could open up the atlas, or at this point, well, let's try opening up the atlas. M108 is here. Owl Nebula. So the Owl Nebula must not be in the Messier list. Is that right?
Owl Nebula is a planetary nebula in Ursa Major.
Oh, it is, 97.
It is magnitude 9.7.
Okay, so now what we would do is we would check M108. Check. Now here's something interesting. He doesn't let you see things. You can't like go search for an M97. But the Owl Nebula is just next, right there. Yeah. So we would have observed both of these. Then we would see. Go to next target. So default next target. Tell you what, I think it's just going to be easier to use AstroPlanner primarily. I'll tell you why, because we can see that altitude. And he's kind of, in a way, sabotaged us because we're blind about the altitude of the object at a glance. Now maybe if we open up, like double click on the object.
M109 is an intermediate barred spiral galaxy in.
And then look under, but it's buried. See, we don't have time for this. Okay, so we're going to use AstroPlanner, and I think we're set. JM, thanks for checking in. JM, yes, we're just, it's a pre-event. We're just practicing for Saturday. So I think we're all set. The lag is gone. Thank you guys for taking part in this. We will look forward to seeing you if you can come Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for 12.5 hours straight as we'll do a 4-hour nap in the middle as we tackle the Messier Marathon. Hope to see you then. God bless. Thanks for you guys who checked in.